Hi students, welcome to lesson number 17 on incentives, wages, bonus and other benefits like compensation and maternity benefits. Now the introduction. Choosing the appropriate rates of monetary support is one of human resource management's hardest tasks, and it is not only complicated but also important to the company and its employees. The success of a corporation depends on judgments about employee compensation. Effective management of employee remuneration is essential from a cost standpoint alone due to the total operational cost. So, studying remuneration from an organizational standpoint is also important for evaluating how it affects a variety of employee attitudes and behaviors, which in turn affects how effective the organization and its units are. Key outcomes like job satisfaction, employee attractiveness, employee retention, performance, skill acquisition, cooperation and flexibility may be directly influenced by compensation. Numerous perspectives and disciplines have been used to study reward systems and their functions in businesses. Particularly, sociology, psychology and economics have added to the body of knowledge on reward systems. The design of reward system and the organizational context in which they are used have a significant impact on the organization. Therefore, it is essential to provide incentives, compensation and other benefits to the employees. And the objectives of these lessons are that this lesson will enable the students to understand the significance of incentives in achievement of motivation and group morale. They can distinguish between material and non-material incentives. They can understand what is wage incentive and its significance. They can also understand what is meant by bonus and what are maternity benefits. Now, we will try to understand what is meant by incentive. The term incentive is used to describe material and non-material benefits given to employees in addition to their normal salaries to induce them to go that extra mile towards promoting productivity and efficiency of the enterprise. It is generally felt that performance of personnel either as individuals or as members of a group is below par when compared to their capabilities, skills and capacities. Finer states that demonstrated performance generally never exceeds more than 50% of an individual's innate ability. So, most individuals tend to halt efforts around an estimation of cost expended, that is time and energy, and relative benefits procured from work. So, this is where incentive administration assumes significance. According to Vandal French 1997, the purpose of incentive plan is to increase the morale and motivation of employees to contribute to further the goals of the organization. Now, we will understand what is the importance of incentive. Incentive systems are meant both to motivate an employee to earn more by working hard and also reinforce positive behavior on his part by rewarding good performance for healthier organizational climate. Hence, incentive is to be understood both in the tangible and intangible senses as aimed both at encouraging and sustaining better performance from employees. Material incentives may take the form of wage payments related to employees' performance in addition to the normal salaries given for standard work assigned, welfare related benefit programs, fringe benefits, rewards and recognition certificates. Incentive administration must have a baseline standard so that performance over and above the specified standard can be rewarded. These incentive plans are linked directly or indirectly to the standards of productivity or the profitability of the organization or to both criteria. The incentive plans comes under two types, and that is material incentive and non-material incentive. Now, let us look at the material incentives, and under that we will discuss about what is individual incentive plans. These plans award individuals or group of individuals extra payment for the extra work performed. So, in order to encourage employees, different incentive plans have been designed. And according to Loudon, the purpose of individual incentive plan is to offer financial incentive for a worker or group of workers to produce work of an acceptable quality over and above a specified quantity. And according to Wolf, their primary purpose is to aid in obtaining minimum unit cost, thereby contribute to enterprise profits. So, these individual incentive plans can be categorized into piece rate plans and production bonus plans. There are, however, problems in instituting individual incentive plans. The most pressing is the criteria by which work performance standards are to be set, and has to be kept in mind that differential payment schemes might adversely affect social capital and lower group morale. It can also potentially affect the quality of work. So, differential annual payout may be determined by a subjective evaluation of each person's performance. An advantage is that differential criteria is adopted to reward performance which just to more meritorious employees, and individual performance is given recognition apart from group. There may also be a significant one-time payout if an employee has an extraordinary accomplishment for a year. So, disadvantages are that the payout may be subjective. It can be divisive and adversely affect the working of the informal organization. So, suggestions offered to get around the problem is to encourage employees to make suggestions through a suggestion box for promotion of productivity and reduction of cost. And this would also encourage employee participation decision making in an organization. So, suggestions given by employees would be effective as they are expected to understand the functioning of the organization better than supervisory personnel. However, care should be taken that suggestion plans do not lead to unsavory interference or role dilution with respect to the management function, specifically policy making, and supervisors and professional employees are excluded from such plans as this forms part of their job profile. And another aspect under material incentive comes is the merit pay. The merit increases program is implemented when funds are designated for that purpose by the institution's administration dependent upon the availability of funds and other constraints. Its major advantages are that it allows administration of differential pay to high performers, allows estimation of individual and company performance separately with a view to judge impact fairly, and allows compensation for outstanding achievements. So, disadvantages are that assessment criteria employed may be subjective. Another aspect that come under material incentive is guarantee standards. View the standards as a contract with your employees. Once the plan is operational, great caution is to be used before decreasing the size of the incentive in any way. So, rate cuts have long been the nemesis of incentive plan. So, guarantee an hourly based rate. Particularly for plant personnel, it is usually advisable to guarantee employees' base rate. Therefore, they will know that no matter what happens, they can at least earn a minimum guaranteed base rate and get support for the plan. So, group restriction can undermine the plan, get the work group support for the plan before starting it. And another incentive comes is the group incentive plans. And because of the pressure of unions, these incentive plans often become unpopular. Group incentive plans are increasingly but put into use, for example, bonus schemes, profit sharing, etc. So, the purpose of group incentive plan is the same as that of individual incentive plan, except that incentives are paid to a group rather than individuals engaged in a particular plan or aspects of organizational work. Now, let us look at what is wage incentive. The term wage incentive has been used both in the restrictive sense of participation and in the wider sense of financial motivation. So, it is a term which refers to objectives in the external situation whose function is to increase or maintain some already initiated activity either in duration or in intensity. So, according to Hummel and Nickerson, wage incentive, it refers to all the plans that provide extra pay for extra performance in addition to regular wages for a job. And according to Scott, it is a formal and announced program under which the income of an individual, a small group, a plant workforce or all the employees of a firm are partially or wholly related to some measures of productivity output. And according to National Commission on Labour, wage incentives are extra financial motivation and they are designed to stimulate human effort by rewarding the person over and above the time rated remuneration for improvements in the present or targeted results. And we can define wage incentive as a system of payment under which the amount payable to a person is linked with his output, and such a payment may also be called payment by results. The term incentive has acquired a wide connotations and includes all the possible factors besides economic gains which can possibly motivate human beings towards better and greater performance. Now, let us look at the objectives of wage incentive schemes. To improve the profit of a firm through a reduction in the unit cost of labor and materials or both. Second, it tries to avoid or minimize additional capital investment for the expansion of production capacity. And third, to increase the worker's earning without dragging the firm into a higher wastage rate structure regardless of productivity. And fourth, to see wage incentive as a useful tool for securing a better utilization of manpower, better production, scheduling and performance control and a more effective personnel policy. Let us look at profit sharing plans. Profit sharing plans are the most widely used incentive pay programs, and the purpose of profit sharing is to distribute additional profit among employees as incentives in the form of bonus which may be paid in cash or transferred to their account. The company contributes a portion of its pre-tax profits to a pool that is to be distributed among eligible employees. The amount distributed to each employee may be weighted by the employee's base salary so that employees with higher base salaries receive a slightly higher amount of the shared pool of profits, and this is done generally on an annual basis. The amount credited to their account can be withdrawn only if the employees have worked for a minimum period of time. So, profit plans works best at more established firms with relatively steady earnings. Large corporations widely employ profit sharing, and the advantages of a profit sharing plan include fostering teamwork, focus on profitability and sustainability to the enterprise. For smaller companies with erratic earnings, profit sharing plans can frustrate, irritate employees by creating expectations that are not fulfilled. So, the criteria adopted for administrating profit plans differ from organization to organization and need to be carefully defined in advance. Beside aforementioned schemes, other forms of incentives according to HR Guide 2005 are paid holidays, paid vacation, medical care, paid sick leave, life insurance, retirement plans, educational assistance, accident insurance, family benefits, paid personal leave, paid maternity leave, and in addition to monthly salary or wages, various fringe benefits are also available to employees. And the fringe benefits contribute significantly to the cost of hiring an employee. In general, it may be said that they represent approximately 50% of the monthly salary. And the compulsory fringe benefits are annual bonus, monthly contribution to a provident fund, terminal gratuity, and the contribution towards the employee's state insurance scheme like house rent allowance to workmen. Now, let us look at what are the non-material incentive plans. Non-material incentive plans may take the form of appreciation letters, award of medals, certificates, etc. And these incentive plans can be of great use in organizations where the service aspect is stressed more than the business or commercial aspect. So, in organization with welfare activities or law and order or defense function, it may be difficult to compensate the hard work of employees with money. So, here one can make use of non-financial incentives which sustain the morale of particularly hard working employees. Let us understand what is bonus. Bonus is nothing but is a wage received by employees are supplemented by payment of an annual lump sum called bonus, which is a type of profit sharing. Over the years, the concept of bonus has changed from one point of profit sharing to one of deferred wages, so that a minimum amount is payable irrespective of the profits. So, bonus is regulated in India by the Payment of Bonus Act 1965, which is applicable to every factory and other establishments employing 20 or more persons on any day during an accounting year. Newly set up establishments are not required to pay a bonus until they derive profits or for 5 accounting years following the year when they start selling their products on a regular basis, whichever is earlier. So, the Payment of Bonus Act specifies a detailed method for computation of the bonus. Only employees drawing up to Rs 3,500 per month are entitled to a bonus under the Act, but the bonus is calculated on the maximum salary of Rs 2,500 per month for a salary between Rs 2,500 and Rs 3,500. So, the amount payable varies from 8% to 20%. 8% is minimum and 20% is maximum of annual salary. However, the normal practice is to pay ex gratia some amount to employees drawing above Rs 3,500 month also. Now, let us understand what you mean by compensation. Compensation may be defined as money that is given to the employees in performance of their jobs. Also, it entails benefits and services other than money. So, there are 2 categories of compensation. They are direct compensation that refers to money, that is the gross pay, and indirect compensation that refers to what employer pays for employees' welfare, such as social security benefits in the form of provident fund, retirement benefits, accident and health insurance, etc. Let us understand the compensation management. The compensation function contributes to the organizational effectiveness in 4 basic ways, and they are: the first one, compensation can serve to attract qualified applicants to the organization. Other things being equal, an organization offering a higher level of pay can attract a larger number of qualified applicants than its competing units. Second, compensation helps to retain competent employees in the organization. Although retaining competent workers is contingent on many factors, compensation policies help by maintaining a fair internal pay structure and by providing attractive benefits. Turnover is thus reduced along with costs associated with recruiting, selecting and training replacements. Third, compensation serves as an incentive to motivate employees to put forth their best efforts. Manufacturing and sales organizations, for example, use monetary incentives to attain higher levels of production or sales without hiring additional employees. So, when employees put forth their best efforts, average productivity of labor increases. So, with increased productivity, Fewer employees are needed to achieve the same level of output. Thus, labor costs are reduced and organizational profitability is increased. Fourth, minimizing the cost of compensation can also contribute to organizational effectiveness, since compensation is a significant cost for most employers. So, in brief, compensation is provided for two reasons, namely as a reward for past service to the enterprise and as a stimulus to increase performance in the future. Now, let us look at the maternity benefit. The Maternity Benefit Act is a piece of social legislation enacted to promote the welfare of working women. So, it prohibits the working of pregnant women for a specified period before and after delivery. It also provides for maternity leave and payment of certain monetary benefits to women workers during the period when they are out of employment because of their pregnancy. Further, the services of a woman worker cannot be terminated during the period of her absence on account of pregnancy except for gross misconduct. The maximum period for which a woman can get maternity benefit is 12 weeks. Of this, 6 weeks must be taken prior to the date of delivery of the child and 6 weeks immediately following that date. To be entitled to maternity leave, however, a woman must have actually worked for not less than 80 days in the 12 months immediately preceding the day of her expected delivery. Only working days are taken into account when calculating these 80 days. Weekly holidays and all leave, paid or unpaid, are not included. However, if a workman is laid off from work, such periods will be deemed as working days. To avail of the 6 weeks leave before expected delivery, a notice must be given in writing stating the date of absence from work, also a certificate of pregnancy. There is a form for both which must be filled. The employer has to pay the maternity benefit in advance for this period to the concerned employee or any person nominated for this purpose. For the 6 weeks leave from the date of delivery, another notice must be sent together with the certificate of delivery after the child is born. The employer has to pay to the employee or her nominee maternity benefit within 48 hours of receiving this notice. The failure to give notice for the subsequent 6 weeks does not, however, disentitle a woman from maternity benefit. Every woman entitled to maternity benefit is also entitled to a medical bonus of rupees 250 if no prenatal and postnatal care have provided for by the employer free of charge. In case of miscarriage, a woman is entitled to 6 weeks leave with pay from the day of miscarriage. In this case too, she must give notice together with a certificate of miscarriage. For illness arising out of pregnancy, delivery, premature birth or miscarriage, a woman employee can take extra leave up to a maximum period of 1 month. She has of course to get a certificate from a doctor in the prescribed form. This leave can be taken at any time during the pregnancy or can be attached to the 6 weeks prior to or after delivery or miscarriage. So, with a view to encourage planned parenthood, the Act provides for 6 weeks leave with wages in cases of medical termination of pregnancy, grant of leave with wages for a maximum period of 1 month in case of illness arising out of MTP or tubectomy, and 2 weeks leave with wages to women workers who undergo tubectomy operation. A female employee can ask for light work for 1 month preceding the 6 weeks prior to her delivery or during these 6 weeks if for any reason she does not avail of her leave. To conclude the discussion, rewards and incentives are important to motivate employees towards excellence. Incentives can be both material and non-material. Non-material awards are easy to administer. Awards and incentives must be based on well-defined principles and be given only to deserving employees? Bonus and maternity benefits play an important role in boosting the morale of the employees.